Right, well, good afternoon everybody. Once again, welcome back to Plot. I think this must be the first day in about a week where we haven't had any wind. Here's a bit of a slight breeze blowing, but I'm hoping it's not going to be too much to start the video as it did in the last one. I think that's the only problem with having polytunnels is if you're trying to film inside and it's a bit windy, you get a hell of a racket coming from it. But yeah, I'm well pleased. The sun's out up here in the northeast. It's just turned 12:30. It's an absolutely cracking afternoon. Compared to the rest of the country, I've got my booties on this morning because the soil's a little bit damp around the pathways. But at least I can get up and down my pathways, not having to use a boat like some of you out in Yorkshire and over in the West Country. It's absolutely horrendous. My heart goes out to you. But let's hope for once we get this weekend out the way, we'll make it some decent weather. I know we've got another load of heavy rain going to hit with this weekend, but hopefully after that we'll start to see a little bit of sunshine. After all, back the end of this week or into March, and I think that's about the time I'll like to start sowing. I've got a few little jobs to do this afternoon where the sun's out. One of them being, I need to get my beds tidied up. What Roger did through the week, he come down the beds and he raked them all level, just went through the onions and give them a nice loosening up and pull any weeds out that's in there. I've got a nice row. That's it. The late winter peas that were sown. There's no damage on them yet. As I say, I've just been working through them, picking any weeds out that's in amongst them, and just generally tidying up. The beds had a little sprinkling of nitro chalk on just around the onions, and what I'm intending to do next week, I was going to do it this week, but I'm going to leave it this week because we've still got cold days forecast. As I say, I don't like to do any planting out till around about March time, early March. Now I want to put some early carrots in here, in between the rows of onions, and of course that's going to give us a little bit of protection. Companion planting, as I like to call it. The onions will grow up, and of course the carrots will grow in between, and hopefully the onions will put the scent off the carrot would fly. I've had some quite good results in years gone by. The Japanese onions over on the far end always put a couple of rows of onions and a couple of rows of carrots in between them. So I'm hoping it's going to be beneficial again this year. As I say, I just weeded all this out. It's nice and tidy now. And of course, onions are starting to put a little bit of weight on. They're getting nice and green now. No damage done to them, and that's where we like them. So as I say, they've had just a light sprinkling of nitro chalk on them. As I say, the sun's out there. It's absolutely, compared to yesterday, I woke up to an inch of snow in my back garden. It was horrendous. I woke up about 5 o'clock in the morning, and it was that light. Of course, I got up and looked out the window, and I thought, oh my God! Anybody planting young seedlings in a cold greenhouse? As I say, in there I've got a little bit of heat, a little bit of paraffin heat, where I've got my onions and my pot leeks and that. Down home I've got my little heater which keeps it frost free, that's all, just frost free. Where I've got them few tomatoes that I started off. I've got my chrysanthemum cuttings, and I've got a lot of flower seeds that I like to start off early, like Dahlia, begonias, and they've got plastic domes over the top of them, so they're quite safe. As I mentioned on my Facebook page the other night, if you're going to get a bit of frost and you haven't got any protection, any fleece, cut of old newspapers, just fold it across your plants, across your containers, and that'll just keep a bit of frost away. You know, it's just one of them little ideas that you know, if you're going to get caught out and you haven't got anything at hand, and say fleece is the best thing. Just throw it over, and then in the morning get yourself in, take it straight back up. But if you're up, if you're up the allotment and know what it's like, if you kind of get up there every day, it's just little tricks to try out, and just to try and keep that frost at bay. As I say, I don't start planting out until at least March. All my brassicas will go in next week. That'll be the next video. What I want to do today, I've brought my ash up from the garden. Excuse me. I've got a pile of ash from the bonfire I had the other night. Once again, I was reporting on my Facebook page, and I've scraped it up, let the rain get at it, scraped it all up. I'm going to put it through the sieve now in the greenhouse, get all the nails and bits and bobs out of it, and of course that's a good potash dress for the garden. especially in this bed here where we had the potatoes last year, on this bed here. There was no lime last year for the potatoes, and we're really heavily manured in. So I think these numbers on these beds will be down a bit. So what I intend to do is give them a good, this week, give them a good wash, a good sprinkling of potash, let the rain wash it in, and then come end of March, beginning of April, when we start planting out, we'll do another test on it. We'll do another meter test and see what the reading is, and then we can change it around if we need any more manures or any lime on it. But yeah, it's just one good way of getting rid of your potash from your garden. Nothing goes to waste in here. We use everything. I've got an open fire down home. I bring a lot of the ash up from down there, keep it in bags. But I'm going to go in there now. I'm going to push it through the fine sieve, get all the nails and bits and pieces out of it, and then I've got a nice bag of potash to spread over these two beds here. Especially here, as I say, where the cheaties were last year. I think the numbers, if I took a reading on this now, it would probably be right down. Because cheaties do take a lot out of the soil, a lot of feeding, and of course without having any lime on it either. I think it's going to be a little bit low, but the potash will sort that out. And then, as I say, once again in the April, before we start planting out, we'll take another reading, and then we can adjust it accordingly. So that's where I start anyway. All I've got to do on here is put some nets over. I'm going to wait until next week, and if it fares up any, I'm going to put the carrots in. I'll put the early carrots in, just stump rooted ones, not big ones. Stump rooted ones in between the rows, and then I'll put the netting over. And then once again, that'll give her a bit more protection from any heavy rains or from any frosts. And it'll help the carrots just to grow through. And hopefully we should get 9 small rows of nice, lovely, juicy carrots. That's the plan anyway. But watch this page anyway. We'll show you how we grow week in, week out. But for the time being, I'm going to, as I say, I don't want to go inside, but I'm going to have to. I still haven't gotten that door fixed on the shed yet. That's a must to do this week, but I can't do it by myself. I need somebody up to give us a hand, lift the door, cut it, and fit it back on. But hopefully I'll get some hand sometime this week to get that done. And then Roger wants to get it painted up, and then I can get inside and start building all the shelves up that we need, benches, build all that. We've got plenty of timber lying around, so we'll make some nice benches in there. I've got a couple of old tables in here that can go into there, and it's going to be a nice shed. I'll get it all boarded out and a bit new flooring down on it. It'll be nice for the summer. But that's plenty of jobs to do in the summertime. For the time being, I want to get this ash sorted, and then I'm going to have a look at some begonias, some pom-pom dahlias from seed, and some zinnia. Okay. Oh right, well, I think I've just timed that just nice. It's absolutely better there now, and of course, once again, the weather's getting it spot on. The rain's arriving now. We've got that storm going to hit us sometime this afternoon into tonight. So I think I'm just getting the bits and pieces done outside that I want to do. You know, it's getting inside, and of course I've got a bit of seed sorting to start through there. Now I did scrape up all the potash, or all the garden ash that was up the top end of the last fire. Got it all scraped up, and I've been putting it into bags. And of course what I like to do with mine is just push it through a sieve. Doesn't have to be a fine sieve, just a 1/4 inch one does me, because I like to have a little bit of grit off the ash mixed in with it. It's an easy job to do. What I don't like to do is rid the ash soap if I've burnt any plastics or anything, because that just contaminates everything. I'd rather just scrape it all up, put it in a bag, and take it home, put it in a bin. But this is just pure ashes off the wood. And of course, a few bagfuls from down home. I've got a log burner in my own home, so if I clean out every couple of days, I get a nice bit of ash from there. And of course, there's those bits of nails in the wood that I burn. There we have it. That's mainly from the top garden, but there's little bits of ash, little bits of clinker and that I like to throw. You will find the odd nails falling through, some of the small thin ones, but once you've once you've got it in a bag and you start spreading it on the garden, you can more or less see, pick up the bits and pieces that you don't want, like some of the old rusty nails and that, take them off the garden. Easy job to do, like some little clouts and that have been in the wood. Pull them off, little bits of wire and whatnot. And that's it, same nice and clean again. That's a bag of rubbish, so that'll go back down home. I'll just go into the bin. Scrap nails, everything else. Bits of grit and tinder, that's been lying there. And of course what we've got here, I've just put it on top of the fire. We've got a nice bag, and this is the one I did yesterday. Now that's nearly half a bag there now. That's after 3 mixes. Now we'll tip this back into there, hopefully without making too much mess. What we did do on Saturday, me and Roger, we've got the mixer going. We've got a couple of big mixers made up because I've started potting up this week. Roger went in the bottom tunnel yesterday and potted all the smaller plants up. Some of the spring bedding, that's all been potted up now, so I'm well pleased with that. And of course that's a fantastic bag of ash shot. But what you can do with the ash, you can leave it outside and let it weather in the rain. But what I will like to do is, on a day like today, if it wasn't for the wind, I would put it straight down in the katy beds. But if it's too windy, it's just going to blow all over. I'd rather wait until you get a nice, calm day, with a bit rain forecast. I know it's asking a bit much, but sometimes you do get a day like that. And then just give it a good sprinkling. And see, I've just wandered back into the tunnel now, and I've got my eye on a few little. I always like to check the beds on the way through, and of course, lo and behold, there's a few there. My first early canes just starting to poke through. Now it's been absolutely freezing here the last couple of months up in the northeast here. Absolutely perishing. But once again, we haven't had any heavy rains, like you've had in the rest of the country, but judging by the sound there now, it's absolutely pouring down. And of course we're going to get heavy gales through tonight into tomorrow. So it looks like we're going to be stuck in the polytunnel tomorrow. I've just finished putting the door on the new shed. So I think in the next video we'll give you a look on the top end once it's all been cleared up. But next week what we'll probably do is, once the take this book away through, we'll go down the rows, give them a bit weeding, just a light hone, and sprinkle some either bone meal or blood fishing bones down the side of the rows, and that'll give them that little bit of a boost. Apart from that, there'll be nothing else. What the ash will do, we'll go on the outside beds where we had 2 lots of taters last year. We had the jazzy in the earlies in the far bed, and we had the ziri in this bed over here. So both them beds are going to be lacking. We weren't named last year, we were heavy mucked, very full of potatoes. So what they're going to need this year, I'm going to use the potash in both them beds. So I've got a nice fine day, or a nice, where there's not too much wind, scatter the ash across the beds, and hopefully the rain will wash it in, and that'll just bring the numbers up a little bit. What I can do is, before I start planting any brassicas or any seeds in them beds, I can take another reading of my numbers, see what they are, and adjust it accordingly with a bit of lime, a bit of fertiliser, whatever it needs to be to bring them numbers back up. But as I say, it's free food. Whenever we have a decent fire up the top there, and I've burned some of the old timbers, we've still got quite a bit to burn yet. But it's fine the night time when you come up, when it's not too dark. Nobody's got to wash it out because the neighbours, they hate that. What I like to do is let you come about 6 o'clock at night and have a fire then. Where we'll pull the old chicken sheds down at the top end of the allotment, top end of the plot. Last year, there's all that wood been lying around. Of course, a lot of it's rotten, so I'm just burning it. I have got a small dustbin up there, but sometimes an open fire is the only way to go. When you've got big pieces of wood, instead of having to stand cutting it up and feeding it into a little bit, I'd rather just have one big fire, get shot up within a couple of hours. And that's what I did the other week. If you check on my Facebook page, I was up here, had a nice big fire, and that's the result of it. Nice big bag of potash here, so no doubt that'll come in handy for around there. Right, so as I say, I kind of get nothing else done in here. The melon house is starting to fill up pretty quickly. There's lots of plants in there coming through. Onions are now through that I brought up from home, the Spanish onions. I've got some leeks, pot leeks in there, I've got some show leeks in there, and some show onions to bring up. But we'll do all that next week, and I'll fill that melon house up. Because what I have got in there, I've got a little paraffin heater, and it's just keeping it frost free. No fancy heating on in there, just keep it frost free. I'm quite happy with that. I come up the other morning and I checked it, and the lowest it had been was 37. So I'm quite happy with that. If I can get it on the 40 mark, even better. And then lo and behold, yesterday when I come up, the sun was shining, and it was 66 in here. Believe it or not, of course, the sun catches the polytunnel first, not the back one. I walked into here with my big coat on, and it was absolutely sweltering in here, just yesterday afternoon. And of course, it's brought the peach tree out. That's now in flower. I've got some blossoms on the peach tree. So I think what I'll do next week, I'll have a walk up and down the border. So I'll show you how we're getting on for spring bedding, because that's just about ready to plant out. I've got some lovely plants outside. They're hardening up, and I'm thinking around about the middle of March, we'll start planting some of them in the back garden. And for some of my friends and family, I've been asking for them. So once again, we'll clear one of the benches off, ready for summer bedding. It'll be starting to come out soon. I will be starting to do some pricking off in a couple of weeks' time, because there's some of them starting to grow pretty well. At the moment, I've been trying to get the onions potted up, and the last of the leeks potted up, so we'll get that finished this week. And then I think next week we'll start on the outside, because in them beds I want to get some early carrots in, and I want to get the parsnips in. So that's another job to get out the road. This is something else I want to try this year. I've used these a couple of times a few years ago, but I haven't used them for quite a while. I've got the trays, and these are just the decompostable cardboard pots. Now what I'm going to try and do this year is to start up some early beetroots, some show beetroots. I've got a couple of packets of good F1 beetroot seeds, so I'm going to sow them in these, multi-sow them in the pots, keep them nice and moist on the benches here, and then put them out on the back bench, harden them off, and plant them out as they are, and hopefully we should get a first-class plant. Now what I'm also tempted to do is once we go in there, we'll start sowing the Dahlia seed and the Zinnia seed. I'll plant the Dahlias. Once I break the Dahlias out of that tray, I'll explain all that in the end of the video, and I'll put them up in these cups, and they sit in these cups for a good 3 or 4 weeks, which will take us well into, I'm hoping, to the end of April. By the time we sow them today, we'll just come to the last week in February, so if I sow them today, they can have 4 weeks in the trays. As I say, I don't pop my seedlings off as they're small. I like to grow the Dahlias on really big in the trays, and then just break the trays up exactly the same as what I do with the marigolds. Break them up, and they'll go into these pots here. So at least 4 weeks in the trays before I break them up. That's going to take us to the end of March into there, which is going to take us to the end of April, so it'll be spot on. Usually about first week in May when we start planting Dahlias out anywhere near up the northeast here, because they are so frost tender. Any frost on them and you lose them. And of course that's the bedding Dahlias. Nothing like the big show Dahlias. I've got a couple of tubers up here, and I've got a couple of tubers down home. I'm just starting to eye up there, getting a few cuttings off them. So I'll be taking cuttings off them in about hopefully 3 or 4 weeks time, but we'll do that in another video. I'll not forget that's my bag of scrap. We're going to take that down to the home list. But we'll get in the 100-foot greenhouse now, and we'll get started sowing the Dahlias and the Zinnias. Completely different method to sowing the annuals, but I'll show you how I like to do mine. Okay? Okay, right, well, I think I've timed that just about right. Getting the nash sorted, because lo and behold, the clouds are coming over. I haven't seen the forecast for this afternoon. I know it's going to be bright today. I don't think we've got any showers forecast, but you never know. It's going black from the west there and it's blown over, so we could have a little bit of a shower. Right, okay, so my mix is made up. So for my Dahlias, I always use my own pot mix, not just ordinary multi-purpose. I like to make my own. That's my multi-purpose mixed with my own compost, our own compost bins. I'll have to show you on one of these videos in the next week or two. We're going to have to get into the compost bins and pull some out and show you exactly what I'm on about. Beautiful stuff. Been rotted down for a year, and all I like to do is to put it through a sieve, I get all the bits of wood and twig out of it. Once it's mixed, put it through the sieve again, so it's nice and rough. It's not too fine, nice and rough. And what I like to do with whatever I take out of it is the bits and pieces, the bits of balls, hard soil, twigs, anything like that. And I always like to put a layer on the bottom of the tray. Now it's got holes in this tray, so I've got an inch layer of the rubble that I take out the sieve. I do it to most of my seedlings because when I sit these on the bread trays, what they'll be is a layer of polythene and then 2 or 3 full newspapers just opened out, and these will sit on them. So the newspaper will act like a blotting paper. So all I need to do is come along with a watering can, water the tray, and these take up their own water straight through the bits of debris, the rubble, into the pot and mix, and keep it nice and moist. I do these dahlias the same year in, year out. I'll get the packet sorted in a minute. The first thing I want to do is to I'll put a little bit of perlite in the mixture, just to make it, once again, make it free drain. Now you don't want to overfill your trays. You want to leave them about a ½ inch below the top of the tray, is because when you come to water, that's going to compact down. That's nice and level there. Just there, tamp it down a bit so it finds its own level. That's nice and level now. So what we're going to do with that, put that in there. If I can just move that under there, the watering can. And once again, fresh water again. We put the hose on yesterday and filled our tanks back up, so we've got some lovely fresh water there. And of course, it's up to temperature. It's been in here all night. I never use water straight from the tap because that's going to be really cold. If you bring it straight from the tap, fill your can up and let your can stand overnight. Bring it up. That'll bring it up to the temperature in the greenhouse. And get that really good soaking, because that'll drain straight through that. The water will be within a minute or two dropping straight through. So we'll remove that. It's a full size seed tray. I'll just dry my hands off because as you know, seeds and wet hands don't go together. Right. And lo and behold, the wind's picked up again. It was beautiful before. Sunshine was out, and of course, a back a square one. So once again, just seed again. It's another one of the seed merchants I like to use, and of course, check the back of your packet. 50 seed. 50 seed for £1. Bargain. There's no frills with them, no fancy bits and pieces, no inner wrappings, anything. Just straightforward seed in the packet. So I think it's fantastic. So all I need to do is tip the seed out, keep one of the packets, and I've usually got a little stick, little piece of bamboo, usually around here somewhere. Once again, it's disappeared. Not to worry. What I normally do is I can use my pen. What I normally do is to make, I've got 50 seed here, so I'm going to make 5 lines, imaginary lines in the compost. There we are. And that just gives you a guide. I mean, you can scatter them if you want, just broadcast them. But what I like to do, I like to take my time with the dahlias because 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So I get 10 in a row, and I get 5 rows of 10. So it's giving them plenty of room that to grow on. Now you can check me video of last year when I sowed the dahlias, because I don't follow traditional methods of potting up or potting on. Never have done. I always like to do it my way. Then of course, for the new gardeners coming on, and there's plenty of them coming online, quite a few new subscribers, which I'm once again over the moon. Once you find your own way in the garden, you start doing things the way you want to do it. If they work for you, stick with them. You don't have to follow traditional methods. And this is just one of them methods that I tried myself a few years ago, and I found it when I was working full time and you're trying to get as much done in the garden in the hours that you have done. This is just one of them tricks that saves you a little bit of time. So that's a tray done. That's a full tray of dahlias now. And what I've done, I've scattered the 50 seed. I made 5 little rows there. I've scattered the seed along them rows, roughly 10 in each one, so that's 50 seed broadcast right over that tray. All at once now is a little bit of that sprinkled over the top of it with a little sieve. I'll put a little sieve there. Tiny sieve, that's a little bit smaller, that one. I'll put a little bit of compost in there. A couple of handfuls. Just a light covering. Once again, because I've used a smaller sieve, you're going to get lumps and bumps and that in there, so the lumps and bits and pieces are going to your next tray. So that's giving you a bit of drainage in your next tray. So that's that done, just about. I want to put a little bit more on that top end there. There we are. Well pleased with that. Now this is going to go into the melon house, because I've got that. You can't stop in here. Perfectly normal to keep it in here. Just a cold greenhouse, they'll come away just as well. But what I like to do to start these off, I like to put them in the melon house where the paraffin heater is. It's just frost free in there. There's not very much heat at all. I'll put these in there to start with, just open in an open tray like that. And once they start coming through, they'll come out of there and they'll go into the bottom polytunnel where it's nice and cold, and they'll not get pricked off until this tray is absolutely full. Nice, strong, young plants, and you can actually tip the whole tree out and it'll just be one big root ball. Now, you might think that's a bit strange doing it that way, but believe you me, I've done it for years. I do exactly the same with my marigolds. The marigolds are in trays there now. They're in exactly the same thing. Now, the marigolds will not get pricked out when they're tiny. I think it's a waste of time. What I like to do is wait until the tray is full, nice strong plants, and then I tip the whole tree out, which I'll show you in videos probably about 6 weeks from now. Tip the whole tree out and you've got a really fantastic big root ball. And all you need to do is to break them apart into little clumps. Now, these dahlias will break away nice and easy. They'll be nice strong little plants like that. I'll transfer them into the cups that I showed you before, the cardboard cups, and then they'll go in their trays and they'll sit in the bottom polytunnel until middle to the end of May, because of course up the northeast here we're going to get frost right up until June, the first week in June. So we've always got to be box clever with the likes of dahlias, because they are frost tender. But that's just one way of getting your dahlias in. If you want to follow me, do it. Do not be in such a hurry to pot off anything. I do it exactly the same with my tomatoes. I'm never in a hurry to. People say, oh, you've got to pot them off at the 2-leaf stage or the 3-leaf stage. I don't. I like to wait until I see a good bit of root on them plants first. I think putting them off too early, it just sets them back a couple of days, and it might do more harm than good. I know they're going into good fresh compost, they're going to be feeding, but my way of thinking, if they've got a good root system on and they're still growing, why shift them? Let them get a little bit bigger and then move them on. And that's the way I've always done. But that's the dahlias, so that one's done. I'm going to put that to one side. And then of course, once again, the Zinnia, completely different way with the Zinnia. I like to use just multi-cell trays for these. Difference being, zinnias don't like to be transplanted. If I can get it out. So what I'll be doing with this is putting it inside of I'll tip this the stones out. Just multi-cell tray again, inside of another one, and then that'll be filled up exactly the same. Plenty of compost. I've found with zinnias is try potting them off too early and it just sets them back. It gives them a bit of a check. So in years gone by, what I decided to do was to sow them into individual pots, and I found I've got a much better plant out of them. Once again, I'm a good soak of water, because with the mixture I've got here, it drains off really easy. And it's again, I'm going to have to wipe your hands, get them nice and dry, because zinnia seeds are like dahlias, and just like little blades of grass. And what I like to do with this are just 2 fingers and just work my way down the tray, just pushing the compost in and making a little indentation in the wet compost. Quite an easy job to do, not hard. And there we have it. Bit of mud. There we are. Quite an easy job to do. Soak it first, then go down with your fingers and just make a little indentation in it. And that shoots them down to the ground. And there we are. Now what's in here, as I say, they're more or less the same as a dahlia seed. And what I like to do, these are a little bit bigger. So if you've got a nice dry hand, tip them onto the palm of your hand. And there you can see them, they're absolutely fantastic. Lovely, lovely seed. Nice dry fingers. And then you can just work your way down, 1 seed per station. Now these can stop in here until they actually fill the tray with roots. Difference being with these, I'll not be potting them off singly. I'll be taking them out in little root balls. I'll let them make their own root ball first in these small trays, and then they can get moved on into cups. That way you're not disturbing the root ball. Just singly sow them. Easy job to do, it's not hard. Take your time. And of course the sun's coming out again there now. What an afternoon. Unbelievable. The wind just keeps picking up every now and again, blowing, and right, so I think that's perfect. Full tray there. Once again, just a little bit of compost over the top of there. Any rough, go into the next tray, and that'll be a nice bit of drainage for the next lot of plants I've got to sow. There we are. So I'm over the moon with that. So they'll just go and sit on that bench in the melon house where it's frost free. And we will get weeds growing up if you're going to follow me and use my compost. But once you learn your weeds from your seeds, it's a doddle. You can go through the seed bed and just pull out any small bits of grimsel, any little bits of grass that start growing. Because once your flowers come up, you'll know what they look like. Once you've grown dahlias before, they're a nice big solid set of leaves what come through, so you'll know what's weed and what's your seed. And as I say, I'll show you how I get on with these with the zinnia. They can be a tricky plant to grow, but they're absolutely gorgeous for flowering. And as I say, for the cottage garden or for your home garden, absolutely beautiful. But they'll go along nicely with the dahlias, lobelia, geraniums, busy lizzies. They'll go with anything. Really nice flower. And these are only, I think these were 12-inch ones. Yeah, and of course once again on the back it's giving you a size. 12 inch, spot on, 50 seeds and they're in. Easy as that. That's my Dahlia's done, that's my Zinnia's done. As I say, I've got quite a few annuals still to sow, cornflowers, Labatra. I've got a few more Zinnias to put in. I can get them done this afternoon, but on an afternoon like this, absolutely fantastic. I can spend all day up here. But as I say, if I can get 4 or 5 packets of seeds done every day, I'm over the moon. On a good day when there's no wind, no rain, and get a little bit of building work done. As I say, I've got a lot of work still to do in the shed outside, but no doubt we'll get a couple of fine days next week and we can crack on with that, get the new door on, get the shelves and the benches done, and get all this shed here cleaned out. There's 2 lovely benches in there that I want to take up to the new shed, and then in this shed here I've got a fire, I've got a bogey stove, and I'm hoping to start using that next year, but I want to clear all this stuff out of here. I don't have anything in that can catch fire. If it does go up, I'd rather have all my tools up there where it's up the road. But that's all for next year, that. As I say, you never stop planning, you never stop planning ahead. And it's what it says on my last video. If you want to start sowing seed, you just got to try and work out when you want your seed and when you want to plant them out. It all depends on what area you live. Up north here, as I say, brassicas, I'm not going to be planting brassicas out until at least the end of April, the first week in May. So we've got March, which is 4 weeks. We've got April, which is 4 weeks. So we're looking at between 7 and 9 weeks. So if you get a packet of seeds, you can work out exactly how long it's going to take you to grow them. From 2 weeks to being in seed. The 3rd week you're going to be potting them off into cups, and then they're going to be in the cups for 3 to 4 weeks. That's 7 weeks. So it gives you, it gives you an idea of when you want to sow them. If you're planting out beginning of April, or the middle of April, that's a couple of weeks shorter than us, especially down south. You get a little bit milder weather, and then you just adjust your times accordingly. It's an easy job to do. Just as I say, don't try and sow too early. The likes of tomatoes, cucumbers, all that stuff can wait. Me peppers, I've sowed me peppers, but they're on a heat blanket down home, small heat blanket. And I'm taking a big propagator down, big propagator bottom, and a big dome on top. I'll put all the chilies and peppers in there on top of the heat blanket, and they can stop in there. They're quite happy in there. They need that little bit of heat. But what I like to do is I like to wait until March when the natural weather starts warming up itself. As I say, on a day like today, it's and actually in here it's 60 in here. In the polytunnel where it's full on the sunshine, there it's 66. That's an extra 6 degrees just facing the sunshine. It's amazing how the temperatures can just rise up in a couple of hours. And of course the same applies in the night time, they can drop. But as long as you've got that little bit of cover for your seedlings, put little plastic covers like that, cheap as chips, or a bit of newspaper, just cover them over, that'll just keep them safe from any frost. But yeah, I'm happy with that. As I say, I've got my Dahlias in, I've got my Zinnias in, and I can start on the rest of the annuals. I've got a couple of mixes to make up the weekend because next week we'll be starting to do some potting off. I've got the forget-me-nots in there that need potting up, so we'll have to make a couple of mixes up for that. Get Roger, we'll get the generator going, and we'll get the big cement mixer going. We'll make a couple of nice big mixes up. Because no doubt in a couple of weeks' time I'm going to be potting onions and potting this, that and the other up into bigger cups. So you need the mix ready. I like to make my mix about a week beforehand so it gets time to settle down. And of course warm up, bring it into the greenhouse. Never use cold compost. If you got compost from the shops, bring it inside the greenhouse, let it warm through because you'll be surprised. You take your compost out and if it's damp it'll be freezing. And that's the last thing you want to do is put seeds into that. Bring it in your greenhouse, same as your water, warm it through. Put it through your hands if necessary, just get it a bit fine and then place the seeds in there. If you're paying for expensive seed, the best thing you want to do is to give them as much help as you can to get them cracking, get them growing. But one way, nice fresh water, good compost, warm water. It's as easy as that, and it saves a lot of heartache in the long run. But I'm going to crack on here, I hope I've been a bit of a help to you, kid. I'll give you a few tips, like as I say. What I will do next week, we'll get outside. All the fruit bushes have been done over this last week. I've just been right around them all, mucked them all, because I've got about 6 bags from the stable, and they've all been mucked, championing now, so that's finished. So next week what I'll do, I'll go out and I'll put the potash in the beds. If I know I'm going to get a day where I'm going to get a bit of rain, I'll sprinkle the potash so the rain will keep the dust down, and of course it'll feed the soil, and then we'll get them beds ready for whatever we're going to plant out. I've got a couple of rows of red onions to put in. I might do them next week, depending on the weather. As I say, it's March time before we even start thinking about planting anything outside. I need to get my parsnips in. That'll be the first thing to go in, first week in March. That's quite enough for me. And then I might think about putting a couple of rows of red onions in, plant them, and then we'll carry on inside with the sowing. I'll do some cold sowings of tomatoes in the beginning of next month, at the middle of next month, in the March time. I've got about 4 or 5 varieties again this year, but I've grown a few down home, just set them away in a little bit of heat, and the rest are grown here, cold, or in the melon house. Just be frost free, that's all. No extra heat. So we'll see how them grow anyway. But for the time being, I'm going to knock off, crack on, get a bit more work done. As I say, I hope being a bit of help is. Once again, thanks to everybody for all that comments and subscriptions going up and up and up each week. Other than that, as long as we're helping you, that's the main thing. Don't forget to comment down below. And once again, if you can't wait for our videos to come out, get one on our Facebook page, send them a friend's request, and we'll get you on there. We're on most nights. As I say, chatting, showing pictures, different people online. But that's another thing, and we'll, as I say, we'll try and keep busy as much as we can with the videos. We'll try and get you one out each week and just see what we're doing step by step. Okay? So I'll see you all again in a week's time. Bye for now.